I am going to say it. I am going to say the word. Vibes. It might be impossible to talk about Pilotwings 64 without mentioning the vibes. The aesthetic. Whatever well past expiration term you want to use to describe it, Pilotwings 64 has it. And it's a very interesting case where it has it because of what it was trying to be in a pivotal time for gaming. Pilotwings 64 perfectly hits the mark of that early 3D fascination that comes from being a Nintendo 64 launch title. Much like Mario 64, the cover alone has this beautiful, slightly nostalgic 3D rendering that comes from a distinctly different time and place. The rubberiness of the characters, the ostentatious 3D logo, the grounded angle looking up to the blue and white skybox. It's perfect, honestly. But it also has that rough and rugged skung of an early 3D game. Sound effects feel haphazardly pulled from an effects bank, and the UI, specifically the font work, looks so pasted on. Like there was no consideration for how text should look in the game. Some real graphic design is my passion type shit. The frame rate also dates it, but not because it's bad. No, because sometimes it's too good. There wasn't a frame rate cap put on the game, so oftentimes when everything's loaded on the screen, the game will run at regular N64 skunky numbers, but sometimes when flying into the sky or being shot face first into the ground, the frame rate will skyrocket. It looks jarring to see the game move like this. It adds even more to that rubbery 3D render aesthetic that makes up the game. Pilotwings 64 is so mid-90s because it can't possibly be anything else. Much like its predecessor, Pilotwings 64 is a series of challenges surrounding different ways to fly. Also like its predecessor, this is more of an excuse to make a tech demo than it is a full game experience. Also like its predecessor, however, I still really love the tech demo. I definitely get down with Pilotwings SNES more than most, and I come off the same way with 64. I love the way these games play. They might be a tad content slight, but they do a very good job of giving you tasks that require mastery and a scoring system that makes you want to go back and earn better medals. You might need to have your brain tuned a certain way for the game to click, but it clicks heavy with me. The only problem I have is that there is sometimes too much of a time tax on these challenges. They require more time than their execution demands, leading to instances where the actual friction may be 3 minutes into a challenge, and if you fail, there is this awful feeling of, fuck, now I gotta do this all over again just to get back to the part that was giving me guff. It feels like they hang on just a little long. But the one place where vibes and gameplay match in holy 90s 3D matrimony is the Birdman stages. This is Pilotwings at its best. This shouldn't work. The idea of flying around a little 3D space sounds so rote by now, but the way the Birdman controls makes for a lovely flight around an island. And what puts this over the top is the song. This should be a novelty, but it's really effective and joyous. I'm kinda shocked. Pilotwings 64 is interesting because it's a little half-baked. It doesn't always feel like a game that was fully thought out, fully designed, or fully dialed in. Almost like Nintendo first-party Eurojank. Sometimes that will lead to frustration, but sometimes it leads to a very interesting vibe. A game that feels so centered on its time frame and the tech that it was trying to convince you was next level. And I think it mostly succeeds because there is more to Pilotwings 64 than just a tech demo showing off what the N64 is capable of.